Hey, Blake Snodgrass here with Good Local. There's six main things we do when it comes to Google LSA or Google Local Service Ads to optimize the campaign to where it generates the maximum amount of calls and leads for our clients and partners. So if you are someone who runs your own Google LSA, local service ads, or you're one of our clients, just know that these are the six things you can do literally today that should increase the amount of calls, quality and quantity in Google Guaranteed or Google LSA. Before I begin, in case you don't know what Google LSA or local service ads are, this is essentially Google's pay per lead service. Okay, now this only applies to some niches in some markets. So if you're in a market that is small and there's not enough search volume, Google search volume for your service, they may not have Google Guaranteed simply because they don't have enough leads in that market to offer a pay per lead service. But regardless, if you're in a lot of the main local service industries and you live in a town large enough to have a decent amount of search volume, Google Guaranteed should be available in your market. And really quick before I dive in, there's actually a statistic in your Google LSA account that you can look at to see if these 6 tips are going to work for you, okay? If you go to your Google LSA account and you click on the menu in the left and then you click on reports, that will pull up a screen that shows you a couple stats. It shows you your top impression rate on search, and then it shows you your absolute top impression rate on search. What I want you to look at is the absolute top impression rate. What that statistic is showing you is what percentage of the time when someone is looking for your company's services, are you showing up as the first listed company in the Google Guaranteed or Google LSA section? If that's 20, 30%, that's bad. If that's above 90%, that's good, because if it is showing you first the majority of the time, that means Google likes what you're doing, it likes your company, it likes how many reviews you have, it likes your photos, it likes how fast you answer your calls, and everything else I'm going to be talking about in this video. And if you can get that up to 80, 90, 95%, Google will start to let you hog most of the leads on Google. Okay, having said that, let's get into the tips. Okay, so diving right into my list of 6 ways to optimize your Google LSA. Increasing your budget. So local service ads don't always spend the entire budget you give it. We have some clients where we set the budget to $4,000 a month because our goal is to get it to spend $2,000 a month. Remember, with Google local service ads, unlike Google ads in general, like Google search ads, you're fishing from a smaller pond, and that pond is loaded up with other fishermen, right? You're fishing in the same pond with all your local competitors, and so there's only so many leads to go around, and Google's not going to let you hog all the leads to yourself. But what you can do is tell it, hey, I'm willing to be a big player in the game, I'm willing to spend X amount of dollars, and Google will give you more leads that you can purchase. So if you're setting your budget to $500 a month or $1,000 a month, and it's only letting you spend $200 or $300, it's not giving you a lot of leads, crank that budget up to 3 or 4x what you actually want to spend and see if Google will start to give you more leads. Again, Google wants to see, oh, this person's willing to spend money on advertising. We want to partner with him more and more and give him more and more leads because he's likely to buy more in the future. Tip number 2 is optimizing and refreshing your images. This one's plain and simple. In your Google LSA account, if you go to your profile, there's a place where you can add photos. Don't just upload those once whenever you're setting up your LSA account and then never touch it again. Try to refresh or upload new photos on a monthly basis, just like all of Google's properties, whether it's your website on Google or the Google Maps section or your Google Ads. Like, Google wants to see that you're actively managing it because, again, Google's goal is to provide the user or the searcher with the best experience possible. So they want to serve ads of companies that are constantly updating their stuff in their profile. So constantly update and add new photos relatively consistently, like on a monthly basis. Tip number 3 is getting more reviews. Now, I mean reviews on your Google Map listing or your Google business profile, okay? If you are running Google LSA or Google Guaranteed ads, and your competitor is, and you have 5 reviews and your competitor has 150 reviews. Again, like I just said, Google's goal is to serve the searcher with the highest quality result possible. Even in the paid ads section, if you're paying for Google Guaranteed ads or Google ads, search text ads, that doesn't mean you're always going to be at the top. There's a ranking system. And by the way, this whole video is me showing you how to rank higher in the Google Guaranteed listings amongst your competitors. That's what gets you more call volume. That's what gets you more leads and more deals. Okay, so getting more reviews helps because it shows Google this is an established high quality company. We need to show this person's ad more than the competitors that have less reviews. Number four, and this is probably one of the most critical, answer every call and message as quickly as possible, within seconds, without letting the phone ring multiple times, okay? If you run Google LSA, you know that you can switch messages off and on as well. So you're telling Google LSA, I want leads via calls and text messages, or you can turn the text messages off and just do calls. But regardless, if you're getting calls and texts, try to respond to them as quickly as humanly possible. Again, Google's job is to give the searcher the best result possible or the best company possible. And if they see that you are answering your calls faster than your competitor, or you are answering your text leads faster than your competitor, they will start to serve you more and more leads, and you'll be able to hog, if you will, more of the market share when it comes to the leads that Google Guaranteed or Google LSA has to spread around in your market. Okay, tip number 5, target less competitive locations first. Now, I'm not saying you have to target cities that are outside of your city, but what I do mean is broaden your targeting. Let's say you're in a city, the one that I'm in, Corpus Christi, Texas. Rather than targeting just the Corpus Christi DMA or just the south side or north side of Corpus Christi plus a 10-mile radius or something, target the entire 50 to 60-mile radius if you can, given the service that you offer. The wider you allow your geographical targeting to go, the more leads you're going to get. And the more leads you service, the more Google sees that you're willing to service leads, and they'll start to give you more leads. It's as simple as that, and they will increase your volume, okay? Similar to Google search ads, the larger you make your geographical targeting, typically the more leads you're going to get, more volume, and sometimes the cheaper the cost will be as well. Because remember, a lot of this is supply and demand. If you open up your targeting to where there's more supply, demand as a function of cost, if you will, the cost of leads decreases as the supply increases, if that makes sense. So if you're not getting the lead volume that you want, try opening up your geographical targeting. And then lastly, and this is another one of the bangers, this is one that could double your lead flow. Change your hours from 9 to 5 and open it up to 24/7, okay? Here's the deal. Most competitors shut off their ads after business hours, okay? Running 24/7 automatically puts you in those top spots when your competitors have their ads shut down, okay? What you can do, for those of you that are not nocturnal, is you can hire outsourced call answering centers. Again, you want to run your ads 24/7, but you also want to answer them the moment they come in. So the solution for a lot of business owners is hiring a 24/7 call answering service that can call the lead, can ask what that homeowner or customer wants. Homeowner, if you're in the home services business, they can triage or pre-qualify or qualify and ask questions to that lead and then book a follow-up appointment for you, the business owner. So that's a good solution for that. But showing Google that you're willing to take on leads and actually answer the phone 24/7, they're just going to start to give you more and more phone calls. And if you're answering those phone calls on time, if you're updating your photos, if you have good reviews, if you do all these things I'm talking about, and you're opening up your geographical targeting and you're doing all these other things, answering every call and message as it comes in, all this stuff, like Google will start to give you the bulk of their leads, okay? They're like, we want to give this guy more leads because of the way he's handling them and his willingness to spend budget because he's producing results for himself and for us. It's a good partnership there, okay? And they will start to give you more. I have one bonus tip, and it is to build your brand authority on Google, which, long story short, basically means start to use more and more of Google's platforms. This is going to sound a little conspiracy theory-esque, but if you use Google's platforms, you're using Google Drive, you're using Gmail, you're using Google Calendar, you run ads on Google Ads, you use Google Guaranteed, you're doing SEO and optimizing your website. If you're a Google man or Google gal, Google will start to prefer your accounts. If they see you're spending money on Google Ads especially, or optimizing your website via SEO, they will see that you are making an effort to optimize your Google presence in regards to your business, and they will start to favor you a little bit more. Now, I'm not taking this will take your absolute top impression like we talked about earlier from 30 to 80, but it could take you from 90 to 94, which is a big win if you're trying to vie and compete for that top spot. Okay. So having said that, that's everything today. Increase your budget if you can. Remember, show Google you're willing to spend budget. Okay, take your budget up to 3x what you think it should be and see if Google allows you to spend what you were originally trying to go after. Optimize and refresh your images, get more reviews on your Google business profile, answer every call and message instantly, open up your geographical targeting, open up your hours to 24/7 and use a call answering service if needed, and build your brand authority on Google and use the Google platforms in the Google universe so they start to favor you more. Okay. If you have any questions, comment below or reach out to me. We'll talk soon. Thanks.